Hi everyone, this is Jim Tolles, and today I wanted to talk about brand new amazing love. This isn't really, advertising anything that you don't have. That's not a giveaway, and I'm not telling you how to get it per se. What I'm referring to is the fact that as we more deeply drop into ourselves and into the present moment and expand and grow, we keep running into new levels of love. And each time they come, it feels brand new and amazing. And you're just like, wow, this is the most fantastic thing I've ever had. It typically is a real problem with the whole spiritual romance sort of thing. And the minute somebody gets labeled as a soulmate, all kinds of problems show up because they're really illuminating all the issues we have around desire and attraction and trying to complete ourselves through others and get external validation. And that's why those things become such a big mess. When they're actually an opportunity for a whole lot of learning to allow ourselves to drop into even greater expanses of love within ourselves. But initially, most people, their hearts are really closed. So even a little bit of their own love, and it'll seem like it's coming from someplace else, it's an external situation, it's making you feel good. And we're definitely interconnected beings, so we feel other things. But most of the love we ever feel is coming from inside. And the more we drop into ourselves, new levels of love arise and then mature. In the maturing of love, there's this kind of calming of the seas. And so that's not usually as much of an issue because now you're used to it. And it just becomes a space you're in, and you don't really realize how much love you're sharing with other people unless you get around kind of the old people that used to be in your life that weren't doing that. And it starts to offer a kind of a mirror into the past. And so they're like, whoa, wow, if these are the types of people I was around, this is, kind of a window into seeing how close I was before. So we talk a lot about the many layers of love to help prepare you for these deepening spaces, to not run to conclusions too quickly, because that's kind of what we want to do. Is like, whoa, this feels amazing. What is this? I want more of it. Keep giving it to me. That's the ego, right? It's the get sort of a feeling. Wants to feel good, and that's not a bad thing. But if you give this love space to mature, the bounty it offers expands. Love is very agile, it's very intelligent. In the space of relationships specifically, if there's a lot of energy and that kind of initial hit, this excitement, this amazing brand new feeling, give it time to settle its roots down, to grow, to start to show you what it's about. Because there's plenty of examples of where we take something that's really wonderful and growing beautifully, and then we try to turn it into something else. It's like trying to take a friend and turn them into a business partner, and then it just destroys the friendship because that's not what was really there. That's not what was growing. And it's not about not taking risks with things and trying different things. But the more you tune into yourself, you start to see what you're up to. Right? This is what the spiritual path is about. It's starting to look at all those rules and regulations around your heart. And for those of you in awakening, a lot of those rules and regulations really are just being regularly blown up, which is why you can come into these waves of expansive love. Right? I talk about expansions and contractions a lot. The contraction is where you go down into a core issue, and then when you release it, all the energy that was bound up in creating that issue and all the issues, that were built around it to defend that issue so we wouldn't feel whatever the pain was. Once you release that pain, you no longer need the defense mechanisms. All that energy that was working down there is released, and so expanded out is what arises for a lot of us. And this can go on a lot. It can feel like you're hyperventilating, especially in the awakening, where that inner space is just moving on its own. Right? That's really one of the key elements of when I'm talking about a spiritual awakening, is it just keeps moving on its own. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, you can try and slow things down, but that's going to make you pretty miserable. But for others of you, you have to keep your practice strong to keep that fire going, to keep that energy going, because so much what humans like to do is we like to settle down into kind of our old, more familiar ways and patterns versus breaking out of them. And so that's partially also what you're feeling when you have this new, brand new, amazing sense of love, is you've broken out of an old pattern. And this then will bring into this newness that I've talked about in other videos and other places on my blog, where you don't know what to do. And this can also then ignite the fear of the unknown. For people it doesn't ignite that, then you just kind of sit in this expanse and you start to say, okay, let the dust settle. What's growing now? What is moved open? What do I now have a capacity for, the capacity for love keeps expanding out, so you can love more and more aspects of your life, including the difficult ones. And that's often where we find some of the greatest return of our own love, as we start to offer our love to things that we didn't enjoy before, to people we didn't like before, because a lot of those old rules inside the mind are going away. The rules saying that I'm this person and that other person is that type of a person, and so because of that type of a person, I can't love them, or they hurt me this way, and then you start to see all the imagined slights start to kind of dissolve away, and you're like, these are ridiculous. This has nothing to do with who I am. And I've been penalizing these other people in my lives because they didn't play by my rules, but my rules are stupid. And it becomes funny after a while. And initially, I think there's a tendency for people to become very self-blaming. This is why I talk about compassion and self-forgiveness as being really important aspects of the spiritual path. Because that old ego then suddenly says, I did something wrong, or it doesn't want to look at that, and doesn't want to believe it did something wrong. If you get to that point, then usually you start quitting the spiritual path, and you're not listening to this video. So I'm assuming if you are listening to this video, you're not quitting, and you are willing to look within yourself and say, oh, these rules are made up. These rules constrict and confine my love, and my love is so much bigger than that. And then some other brand new experience can come into your life. And it brings with new energy that you didn't even know was there. And there's different qualities of energy that kind of ignite those feelings of love inside us. It's not something I can necessarily put a lot of words to. I probably will in future videos. But there's so many different energies in the world, and everybody and every person is kind of their own energy. And there's different kind of themes, where you can feel all kinds of things from different people. And if you've been very limited, and so maybe we'll go with a fruit metaphor. So if you've only been eating apples your whole life, the first time you taste an orange, it can feel like the most extraordinary thing in your life. And you're like, wow, I would just want to eat oranges for the rest of my life. Well, go more slowly, right? So if this is a person, this is a situation, it's a new experience, take your time with this first orange. Don't go too quickly. Enjoy it, savor it. Right, now you've tasted oranges and apples, and then one day somebody shows you some blueberries, and like, this is incredible. How long have these been out there? And it's easy to actually kind of get caught up in this part too, where suddenly the ego is like, well, I'm going to try everything I possibly can, which is why I say go more slowly. Enjoy whatever is here. Enjoy whatever the bounty is that's here, because you don't know how long oranges are going to be in season in your life, whatever that means for you. Don't rush on to the next thing, because sometimes that happens with these brand new amazing love experiences of different kinds where you just feel alive and vibrant and good. It's amazing. And you just kind of want to gorge yourself. It's like, how much can I get in? It's like, don't go too quickly. As I said, having that patience to let things settle in life, to plant seeds, to continue to move those rocks of fear and anger and shame and pain and sadness, and just keep clearing that garden so more things can sprout, more things can grow up, more seeds can plant themselves. Right? In this way, we make space for the mystery of life. The things are constantly unveiling themselves to us, and we're still doing our part in co-creating. Right? It's a dance with the universe. We're so powerful, and yet we are so insignificant. This is the truth. This is the paradox of the spiritual path that we all start to appreciate the more and more we come down. And so when these amazing love experiences, and they feel brand new and fresh and everything, just enjoy. Open your heart fully to them. See what happens. See where suddenly you can open your heart. See where a part of you wants to get lost or to check out or get washed away with it, and then breathe in a little bit deeper to be more present. And enjoy. I talk a lot about the difficult things, but there are plenty of beautiful things to enjoy in the spiritual path, and you never really know how it's all going to unfold. And so each time a brand new experience of love unveils itself, open your heart, enjoy, be patient, go slowly, and then you'll see what arises next. Once again, my name is Jim Tolles. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and you can always find me at my blog, spiritualawakeningprocess.com. Thanks.